Hey, welcome to a episode of Tin Roof Podcast. This is a Christmas special one. We've been doing Christmas watch-alongs so far this December. As you know, if you see the title, A Grinchmas Vacation, kind of a funny play on words because, well, I'm on vacation this week, and obviously we're doing a Grinch watch-along, but Christmas Vacation is also one of my favorite movies. Yeah, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna have a good time. We're watching How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey on Peacock is where I'm streaming it from. You can watch it from wherever you have it, but I've got mine pulled up. I'm ready to go, but I'm gonna give you just a couple more seconds if you don't have it pulled up. I'm sorry, my face is itchy. I know I keep touching my face, but we're gonna get into this. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna go over some fun facts. We're just gonna have a good time. Got my Jack Skellington sweater on. This is not going well. I am having a struggle of a morning. We're gonna talk fun facts about this. We're gonna talk music. We're gonna do all the usual things that we normally do here on the Tin Roof Podcast, and we're gonna have a good time. So, click play. All right. Your Universal Studios thing should be popping up where it's all over the globe deal or whatever. Movie came out in 2000. That is just wild. 25 years ago. Man, speaking of the year, we've only got 3 more episodes left this year. This one, not so special Christmas special on Friday. That's this coming Friday. So the end of the week. Pay attention for that. That is a very special episode, and we won't have one the week of Christmas, but then we'll come back right before New Year's with an episode. So lots of stuff coming up. Really looking forward to what all we're dropping. This episode here is going to be like a 2-hour long episode. This is one of the longest episodes I've done with Tin Roof. I did a Christmas Carol watch along last year, which was a ton of fun. But, yeah. So, the voice you're hearing right now is Anthony Hopkins. Very distinguished voice. Man, this takes me back to childhood. Like, when this came out, I was 9. I was like 9 or 10. Which is crazy, because, let's see. I'll be 35 in 2026, so I was like 9 when this movie came out. This is wild to me. And it came out, I want to say it came out on Thanksgiving. That could be one of the things that I look up. Why don't I do that real quick? Old Joffrey Tambor was in this. Let's see. Okay, so Jim Carrey's Grinch did not come out on Thanksgiving. It came out mid-November 2000, specifically on November 17th, 2000, which was a Friday, but it was perfectly timed to be a huge holiday hit before Thanksgiving and Christmas, which, I mean, it definitely was. It was a huge hit. A fant for your aunt. What is a fant? Is that like an elephant? Are you getting your aunt an elephant? Kind of a cool gift. Is it a miniature? Or like, whose scale size? How big would an elephant be? The stacking of the gifts was really, really cool. We'll get into some Taylor Momsen facts here in just a little bit. It seems she had some resentment there for a while towards this movie, but that's not that also doesn't seem uncommon amongst childhood stars. having resentment towards projects that went big. So, I mean, it would make sense. The star is really cool on top of that tree. I like that star. Like, just the whole, like, way the world is designed. And this movie was directed by Ron Howard, who is a, if you are familiar, he was Opie in Andy Griffith. He directed Apollo 13. He's directed several, like, really, really big movies. He's a very, very good director. Very good actor, too. Because he still, like, did some acting. Matter of fact, he was in this. I'm trying to remember who he was. I want to say he was the dad. Hmm. I'm looking. I'm sorry. Vern Troyer was in here. I didn't know that. He played one of the band members. I feel like I can't read. Okay, Bill Irwin was Lou. Who? Okay. So, it wasn't who I thought it was, obviously. No way. So, there's this guy on TikTok that I watch, who is a really good, like, voice actor. I thought he was just some guy, in all honesty, until just now. Uh, but Jim Meskimen, if you guys are familiar, you might be familiar if you're watching the YouTube version. I'm getting ready to, like, show you his face on my phone. Whoop, hold up before I do that. That guy. Okay, so he played Officer Houlihan in here. Very, very funny guy. Does some really good voice acting type stuff. He can do impressions really well, is what I'm getting at. Does Biden, does Robin Williams. Just a very, very funny guy. So if you're not following him, give him a follow. And then, let's see. Now that we're starting to see the Grinch, we're getting some quality time with the Grinch now. Pull up some Grinch facts. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with the one that we're all pretty well versed in now. The fact that he was... this is so cool how they do this. But I guess a chapeau is a cane. I never like really understood that part, but the burp scene is fun for those of us who are childish. Let's see. Yeah. The putting the outfit on was super, super taxing. So Jim Carrey actually had to go through CIA operative training to cope with the claustrophobic yak hair suit and prosthetics, enduring 8.5, so 8.5 hour makeup sessions initially. So to get this thing right, the first handful of sessions were were 8.5 hours long. I'm sorry, brain isn't quite fully here. We got up early today. We have the church event, or a church event going on today, and so we're cooking, and so today we're recording pretty early for this one. But we had to get a pork butt on. We're gonna be making some prosciutto poppers here in a little bit, and yeah, so lots of cooking, which is a good day for me, right? Didn't get to spend it in the woods like I had planned, but that was just poor planning on my part. But we're getting to do cool stuff. We're being fun, watching Christmas movies, hanging out. Hopefully you got something good to drink with this. I'm doing coffee with some, I think this was sugar cookie creamer in it. Basically, I put the creamer in there just to cool it off a little bit so I can drink it faster. But there will definitely have to be like some moments where I pause this to go get some coffee or whatever, and I highly encourage you to do the same. Bathroom breaks and stuff. What kind of spitball hits that hard to where you're like, ah, you know? The post office is extremely chaotic. Like, I'm a people person. I don't mind being around people, but that just looks like hey, you see Martha May Huvier. Hold up. Pause that for a second if you need to. Martha May Huvier's like mailbox is right next to the Grinch's. Probably done just like out of like not laziness per se, but it's just sometimes it's easier to not have to come up with a whole bunch of names. Jay Hubu. Lou Who's name was right there. So I do find that interesting that Martha May Huvier's mailbox is right next to the Grinch's there. Fun little Easter egg that I've never spotted before. This whole sorting thing is cool too. The sorting machine. This side up and it's upside down. I wonder how much of this was improv. I guess I could look that up. I mean, it's what we're here for, right? Oh, it was right there. He improvised iconic lines, including 6:30 p.m. dinner with me. I can't cancel that again. I think everybody loves that line. He did some really, really good ones. I knew he improved some. I just didn't know like how much he improved. The child actors attended Who School to learn Seuss-like movements and mannerisms. So that's a fun little fact there. This movie did end up winning an Oscar, by the way. I've gotten to a point where, and this is only if you're new. Oh, so the contacts actually irritated his eyes, the yellow contacts. So they actually ended up just going back through in post-production and making the eyes yellow for certain things. Right there, though, I would almost be willing to bet, just because of how much redness is around the edges, that he was wearing the contacts there. Just personal thought. This is one of my favorite lines. There's not a tutor. So, this is interesting, and this is from Mental Floss. If you want to go read these for yourself, I'll try to remember to put the link. Actually, I'll do that right now. I mean, we're going to be here for another like hour and 30 minutes. So this is from Mental Floss. This is pretty interesting. So Theodore Geisel, Dr. Seuss, widow, had a very specific vision for How the Grinch Stole Christmas. She wanted a big-time director. she wanted somebody of Grinch wannabes who were of comparable stature to Jack Nicholson, Jim Carrey, Robin Williams, and Dustin Hoffman. So she had a very specific vision for this. I'm really glad. I'm really glad that we got what we got. Oh wow. Okay. So like this whole thing here is crazy because she met Jim Carrey while he was in character as Andy Kaufman when he met Audrey Giesel. So for those of you that don't know the story behind that, when Jim Carrey played Andy Kaufman, he basically became Andy Kaufman, like method acting or whatever it's called, where like he would not break character. And so like there's a very memorable clip where like him and his dad are having an interaction and his dad just like loses his mind on Jim Carrey. Like it was a bit too much, but some people need to do that to stay consistent. I can't say anything negative on it because I'm not an actor myself, but I could definitely see where like having that consistency would make sense. I'm pissed. This Christmas light gun is really really cool. It would be cool if there was something like that existed. I don't think that there actually is, but I mean, it's also not outside the realm of possibility these days. Especially since like technology, like real life technology, is definitely inspired, I think, at times from movies and comic books, like the whole sci-fi stuff. Whoville prank calls. I think it's funny they hung like all the lights from inside the house are now outside the house in attempts to win this Christmas light competition. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm again sleepy, so I don't remember if I said this or not, but the pork butt that I'm making is a pastrami pork butt. So I'm hoping that turns out really well. I've spritzed it once. I'm gonna have to spritz it here in a little bit, but yeah. Yeah, I brined it for 5 days. Basically Sunday afternoon to Friday night, and then last night, right before bed, I got like 5 hours sleep last night, which isn't horrible. I'm not complaining, but we went ahead and rinsed it last night for 5 hours, basically. So got it in the rinse. I got up in the middle of the night, basically at the halfway mark. I got up at 3 and flipped it over, and because like the biggest thing that I have at the moment was barely big enough for it with the water, so like a little bit was sticking out of the top, but I wanted it to be rinsed thoroughly on the outside. So I flipped it over, put fresh water in there, and put it back in the fridge to finish its little stint. Got up at 4:30 and excuse me, got ready to finish it up. And like, you know how on pork butts like there'll be spots where it has crevices or whatever. The coloration on the inside of that thing's already looking really good. I can't wait to see it once it's got the bark on it, and once we pull it, what it looks like. I'm doing a mustard barbecue sauce to go with it. However, I've been advised to not give it a kick. So if I put anything in it, it might just be a little bit of crushed red pepper, because I just want like a little zing. I don't want it spicy. I don't want it whatever, because it's for a multitude of people. This is not a Justin project. This is for many, many other people, and people that are sensitive to heat. So I don't want like any heat at all, but I want just a touch. So following my buddy, my acquaintance, whatever, fellow barbecue content creator, bearded. Okay, so there's two guys that have similar names, and I want to make sure that I give the homie credit. So hang on one second, because I don't want to accidentally say the wrong name. Bearded Boar Barbecue on TikTok. Go check him out. Great tutorials. Shows you really well how to run a snake. Really, really good content. Highly recommend it. Of course, we just heard the super, super famous Where Are You Christmas song. Faith Hill's version is huge. But in recent history, like this year, like just a month ago basically, the Pretty Reckless, Taylor Momsen's band, released a Christmas album with that on there, which was super interesting, and it's pretty good. Not that it wouldn't be. She's a really incredible singer, and Pretty Reckless is a pretty big band. They're actually going to be opening for AC/DC on, I guess it's going to be AC/DC's farewell tour. I think that's right. I can double check that. But let's pull up some Taylor Momsen facts here. Trying to decide. I don't want to get rid of all of my. Oh yeah, she was in Gossip Girl. I forgot that. She's 32 years old. She was actually born 2 years after me, the day before my birthday. So we're fairly close in age, which is interesting. Let's do movies and shows. Okay, so she was in Gossip Girl. She was in this. She was in Spy Kids too. I don't remember that. She was in the movie Underdogs, Hansel and Gretel. Ah, yes, she was in We Were Soldiers. I forgot that. So in some fairly big movies as a kid. And then, of course, her music group, The Pretty Reckless. Let's see here. They actually got to perform Where Are You Christmas on Jimmy Kimmel. So, good for them. The glass that Jim Carrey eats right here is actually made out of sugar glass. So it's an edible glass. It's basically melted sugar that ends up hardening and is all glassy. So Taylor didn't hate the Grinch movie itself, but faced intense bullying at school for her iconic role as Cindy Lou Who, being relentlessly called Grinch Girl, which was isolating and made her leave traditional schooling for music. Huh. I love the echo. Bullying's awful. There's no need for it, and you know, Uh, Man, bullying is a hard topic for me. I definitely face my own issues, but then I also definitely am aware that I caused issues for other kids as well. Um, and I regret it. Uh, Good for her, though, that it motivated her in a positive direction, because look what she did with her music. She became a really big, famous musician. Uh, 2009 would have put her probably in her junior year of high school, because I graduated the following year. So that sounds about right. So that's pretty interesting. The adult jokes, especially at this part of the movie, are wild. Like he looks like your boss, or the party that the two ladies that were like parents to the Grinch. A strange wind blew that night. So there's a theory that he was supposed to go to a different Whoville, but he ended up in the one that he ended up in. Um, Pretty interesting theory. I like the theory. I don't necessarily know if I lean one way or the other. I think that it's a really cool theory. Uh, huh. That wasn't strange at all, was it? That part I don't like. What's with the eating of the glass, though? Like, obviously, we addressed that it was sugar glass, but why, in general, did he want to eat glass? Okay, so this version of the Grinch at this age was played by none other than. What did I do with the cast? I have too many windows open. I currently have 57 tabs open. I guess I got rid of that tab, so I need to make a new one. Hang on. Which tab can go away? This tab can go away. Okay. Clear. So, Josh Ryan Evans played this Grinch, who actually would end up passing away 2 years later. But those of you who know who he is, he was very, very popular in the soap opera Passions. He did a voice in Hey Arnold. Who was he in Hey Arnold? Lane Torren was Arnold. Dan Castellaneta was Grandpa Phil. I had no idea. That's pretty interesting. Mark Hamill was a homeless man in it. Tim Curry was in there once. Josh Ryan Evans played a third grader. Pretty interesting. Wallace Shawn was in there as Rochelle. There were some pretty big names on Hey Arnold. Had no idea. None. Oh, he was in Ally McBeal at one point. guessing it was as a guest. Robert Downey Jr. was in Ally McBeal. Mike Haggerty was in there. So Mike Haggerty was the janitor, or like the housekeeper or whatever, like the dude that took care of the building, the maintenance guy, on Friends for a Christmas episode, and he walks underneath mistletoe, and like sillily asks, "Is that mistletoe?" To the lady. The mayor was a jerk, like just the entire time in this movie. Oh, I forgot that Matthew Perry was in there. Talking about Ally McBeal. Just realized that. Oh, I was just talking about Friends, and how could I forget that Matthew Perry was in Friends? Oh, Lucy Liu was in Ally McBeal. Huh. Had no idea. Uh, so Morgan Wade, one of my favorite female country artists, probably my favorite modern, like current female country artist, dropped a Christmas album. It's pretty good. She does a version of Merry Christmas Baby that's good. It's not my favorite version. I prefer Co Wetzel's. I don't know. I'm a Co fan. I like Co a lot. Uh, this part, the whole look at that hack job. All right, listen. From a guy that had a beard at like 12 years old, um, guarantee all these children that are in here laughing at him that ended up needing to shave their face if they were real people would have ended up having to like would have had the same thing happen to them. The muscles. That cracks me up. I wonder if the ornaments, I don't know if you saw it or not, but they had like green ornaments on one shelf, uh, gold ones, and then like red ones, or some sort of version of that. I wonder if it was like some sort of abacus with ornaments, because that's kind of what it looked like. The recording thing that she uses for this is really interesting to me too. And of course, we see his ascension to Mount Crumpet to become the Grinch that we know him as. The cars in Whoville are neat. I think they're neat looking. Like that one almost, a lot of them remind me of like almost old school shoes. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. What other fun facts can we hit you with? So Jeffrey Tambor, Augustus Mayhew, the mayor, he did a lot of different things. He was in Transparent. He was in Arrested Development, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, The Larry Sanders Show, The Death of Stalin, Meet Joe Black, The Hangover, Life Stinks, The Ropers, Hangover Part 3, Hellboy, The Accountant, Hangover Part 2, Hellboy 2, Mr. Mom, My Teacher's Wife, Saturday the 14th, Magic Camp, Muppets from Space, which that's what I really remember him from other than this movie, in all honesty. Muppets Wizard of Oz. Did not realize that. Did he play the wizard? Now I'm curious. I didn't even know there was a Muppets Wizard of Oz. Quentin Tarantino was in it. Ashanti was Dorothy. Yep, Jeffrey Tambor was the wizard. He has that vibe. He has that wizard vibe. If there is such a thing. Oh wow, Joe Rogan and Matthew Lillard were in it too. Mel Brooks, Kelly Ripa, Neil Flynn, Zach Braff, William H. Macy. How did this happen? How were all these people in Disney money? I mean, how else could you do a cast like that? The Hubilation. I want to know what Whoville fries are like. Because they said that, right? You know, like the people that were in the car that passed the family going up to this part. I also love the fact that the mom, like, I find it funny that the mom stole the traffic light. That cracked me up. Just coming right out of the pocket. Just nominate the Grinch. Also, the way that they dress for the Hubilation is so much fun. Kind of reminds me of like our real life like ugly sweaters and stuff like that. Which I'm a big fan of that tradition. I enjoy it a lot. I think it's funny and entertaining. Like, I don't know how else to put it. I saw one yesterday while I was looking for what I ended up getting for this year for my ugly sweater was a frog and toad one, and that one almost won. And then I saw a really cool Grinch one, and I saw a really obnoxious Grinch one that I almost bought, and then I ended up landing on just Max on a sweater, which is perfectly fine because Max is cool, and like I like the way that it's drawn and stuff, because like they use the brown of the shirt material for the coloring of Max, and then they colored like the ornaments and stuff that are around him. It's in there, trust me. What's a lead pipe cinch? The cool thing is the liquid inside their cups. Like, it looks like eggnog. I doubt that it's actually eggnog, but like how they have it angled and filled just perfectly to where it won't spill. More or less. Obnoxious. I like that dude's suit. Like, I'm not a suit guy, but like if I were to wear one, like for Christmas time, I got a buddy that actually has like a couple of really obnoxious Christmas suits that are fantastic. I don't know about like how to like go about like saying names and stuff on here. He was a guest on one of my podcast episodes before. Not on this one, on Calloused Hands. How many of us have done that where like a song that we hate gets like stuck in our head? I love this part. It's joyful and triumphant. The idea of putting nuts, bolts, and washers in blenders is kind of hilarious. But, I mean, it would drown out the noise. Also, we are a show about metal and whatnot, which we've talked about Taylor Momsen's link to hard rock music that she has now. But why don't we pull up one about one Mr. Jim Carrey. Oh, come on. My Google is not working with me. Yes, Jim Carrey is a big metal fan. So the question was, is Jim Carrey a fan of metal? And yes, Jim Carrey is a big fan of metal music, especially thrash and death metal, famously featuring bands like Napalm Death and Cannibal Corpse in his early films and discussing his love for intense music in numerous interviews over the years, showing he enjoys all genres, but he has a special place for heavy sounds, which there is that famous one where he was talking on one of the late night shows where he's mentioning Pantera, which is really, really cool. Early adoption. He's been into metal since at least the early 90s, appearing on the Arsenio Hall show talking about his love for bands like Napalm Death. Which I remember that now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. He's like, I got into this band called Napalm Death. Like, he's very, like, over the top about it. And the appearance of Cannibal Corpse in Ace Ventura was fantastic. And the lead singer of Cannibal Corpse, I'm drawing a blank, from back then, not Corpse Grinder, Chris Barnes, I want to say, like, I'm drawing, like, my brain was blanking and I apologize. See. I gotta get caught up on the Garza show. I didn't realize how many people I had missed on here that I really wanted to listen to. Ooh, in one episode he talks favorite Mastodon riffs. I gotta go back to like springtime. I'm still in June. Here we go. The one where he had Jasta on there. Yeah, Chris Barnes. I just want to make sure I had his name right. But so, almost a year ago, back in February, he had Chris Garza had Chris Barnes on the Garza podcast, and it's a really interesting interview. Highly recommend listening to it if you are a metal head. I'm gonna have to listen to the Despised Icon: Real History of Deathcore episode. Spite, deathcore, writing riffs, and brain rot addiction. That could be entertaining. He's got a, like, actually, that made me think of something. I've been struggling with some of my awards for this year's Not So Special Christmas Special. Some of them, deadlocks, know exactly who's getting the awards, and then a couple of them, it's like, man, I can't decide where this one should go to. We do the Metal Ambassador of the Year award. Usually it's like to somebody up and coming, or what have you, like somebody who's putting out great content regarding the genre. So we'll do one for metal, we'll do one for country. I think I know where I'm going to go with the country one, and I hadn't decided. I was like, I have no idea what to do with the metal one, because I really didn't see anybody as like a breakout, standout, whatever, because that's normally where I go with it, because like Opal and Sky won it last year, and much deservedly so, and they continue to make funny videos this year, but that's not where I really, like, it didn't seem like where I was heading. There's another guy who might end up getting the award, but we're gonna do some cool stuff. So be sure that you turn into the Not So Special Christmas Special. How could you say no to that kid? A winner. But the G train has left the station. I remember watching that for the first time. It had me hooked, thinking, wow, Grinch is going to make a 180. He's going to do a U-turn here. Nope. They had to have put like that stuff inside the glass. Cause like even there with the pot, the way he was running, like some of that should have definitely spilled. Or not pot, but like this big old serving bowl. Where are we at on time? I might need to. I'm getting close to needing to go spritz and stuff, so I may personally be getting ready to take a break here to go do that and to top off my coffee. When he goes over the schedule, it is just so much fun. But what will I wear? Stare into the abyss and drift slowly into madness. No. Chicago. The one-liners in this movie are just amazing. What's everybody's favorite version of the "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch" song? There's so many good versions out there. Jim Carrey's version's great. Obviously, the original Thurl Ravenscroft's is amazing, but I really like Darius Rucker's version of it. And then, of course, there's that metal version. Who does that metal version? I can't remember the band's name. Let's see, you're mean one, Mr. Grinch. Metal. Small Town Titans. They did an amazing job on it. Also, the day of recording this, sitting here thinking about it, is the final match of John Cena. So that's crazy. Really, the adult jokes in this at times are just out of hand. Just personal opinion. I mean, we watch it as a family and stuff, but there are definitely at times it's like, that's really pushing the line. Like, I get trying to have some humor that the adults get, but sometimes it's just too much. There, see, the redness is not as much in the eyes. So there, I think they went back and finished up the product. think the mayor just looked at this as I mean, he did. He definitely did. Not just a think. But he definitely wanted to just use this as another time to torture the Grinch. Are you two still living? I also love in this version how he like keeps track of the size of his heart. Not like he doesn't know that it's 3 sizes too small, and that it's gonna grow 2 size or like 4 sizes or whatever it is at the end. But whenever he looks down at the heart on the thing, like on the shirt, I actually want to like get an ugly sweater like that. That would be cool. You didn't tell me about the chair, too. I'm a little behind on what I'm saying at the moment, so don't feel like you're ahead. That looked like peanut butter. The Einstein guy with the not pudding. Ugh. That looked like tapioca. That one does not look good. Fruitcake. I had an idea for making a fruitcake this year. I wanted to try it just to try making a fruitcake. I don't know. I might do it next year. The fudge is just well, and the whole point of the fudge contest or any of these contests to make it yourself. So the whole made it myself thing, like what? Of course you did. That's why you're here. Like as far as the competition goes. A little over the top there, Martha. Mary's gonna find it a little sus if you keep cheering for the Grinch that way. I also I saw it, but I never realized it until this year. Like doing this, like just now while doing this watch along, she's like really vibing to the Grinch the entire time he's there for this. Like that flame is definitely still there from whenever they were kids. Is that lady supposed to be dressed like the Tooth Fairy that was in the front row next to the family? So like a secret Santa thing almost. And this is just low down. Like one last jab. And like a Christmas shave is good, but like yeah, see Cindy, because she knows the story, realizes like that was painful. Yeah, shut up. How could you say that? Good times, like just downright dirty, just the ultimate heel. And then it's like I don't know, there's some real life whateverness there of like doing like gaslighting. I guess is the only term that really works for that. Is just the pure gaslighting at that moment of like I'm gonna humiliate you, and then I'm gonna ask the girl that you like and that likes you to marry me, and then wonder why you crash out. Not that the vandalism that occurs after what happens here is justified, but like, and then also to put her on the TikTok, like, doot doot, like game show sound, just awful. And of course, like, you can tell that it's not true love. Take this job and shove it. That's what I think of whenever I see this scene. Uh, which I actually did a funny video. I think it was last year for uh, the day after Thanksgiving, because I my real job, I had to make up for being off for the holiday, so I had to work Friday and Saturday, and so like I made a funny video of like those of us who have to work the holiday, or like work for holiday makeup or whatever after Thanksgiving, and had this scene and put Johnny Paychecks take this job and shove it to it. Mayor totally had it coming. Deserved every bit of that. Alright, I gotta take a break real quick. So I'm gonna stop the tape and like we'll reconvene in a minute. So if you need to take a break, go ahead and take a break right now, and we'll be right back. Alright, we are back. And started at 55 minutes 50 seconds. Got my refill of my coffee. Feeling much, much better now. Lighting fire to the tree. Burn! I don't know about y'all, but I am a big fan of pop punk Christmas songs. I don't remember if I mentioned this. I know I mentioned it in years past, but I don't remember if I mentioned it this year on one of the previous episodes. But like, Nothing for Christmas by Newfound Glory is really good. The whole Punk Goes Christmas album, always on in my house around Christmas time. Not just the pop punk Christmas album, but let's see, like Goldfinger. They've got some really cool ones, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That one's really good. It's because I'm green, isn't it? Of course, the teeniest, tiniest car, because we got to do, size gags. Which, I mean, it's good comedy. Like, watching him drive it is hilarious. And the way they act like this car has so much horsepower is just super hilarious. I mean, this movie's full of like just amazing comedy scenes. Must have slipped on the ice. The action sequence is amazing. What a nice hat. Really? Come on, dude. Like, obviously I knew the mayor was just a dirtball. But like to go after Cindy like this, not good. Sitting here thinking about it, uh, Anakin Hayden Christensen, uh, he was bullied for, or maybe it wasn't Hayden Christensen. The kid that played Anakin in the first Star Wars movie, he was bullied too for being Anakin. I think a lot of it has to do with kids who have trauma themselves end up releasing some of their own trauma on others, not knowing that that's what they're doing. But that's where us adults can come in and help with anti-bullying. I'm working on something like while all this is going on, like wheels are turning, because mental health is a really big deal for me, and I struggle with my own, and if we can help, with anti-bullying, if we can help with understanding where it comes from, and help teach these kids in a way where we're still handling them like children, we can really do some good. And this whole thing has got me thinking, but those kids had cool jobs. They had jobs, but way before they should have had jobs. I mean, that's any childhood actor. But they got to do some really cool stuff. How could you make fun of people like Macaulay Culkin for doing Home Alone, or the kid that played Anakin, or Taylor Momsen for playing Cindy Lou Who? That would be awesome. Like Cindy Lou Who's in my class? What? And here we go. Started rhyming. And of course, Max thought things were just gonna switch, and the Grinch was gonna be in the Christmas spirit when he got back. Holly, jolly. The Christmas, that part is so good. So they used several foster dogs for Max. There was one that was like Chip, one that was named Kelly. Such pretty dogs. And I don't know, some kind of soup line from earlier in the movie was improvised because the dog barked, and it was just perfect timing. So the Grinch, Jim Carrey just rolled with it, which he's very good at that. He's very good at that kind of comedic stuff. I remember reading a kid's biography book on the Grinch, talking about done sewed his fingers to the to their shirt. Them shoes are pretty nice though. You know, even in the cartoon, he cuts it and it's all janky, but then he goes to put it on and it's really well done. It's how'd that work? Charming as an eel. Guess I need to find a poem to recite at the beginning of the Not So Christmas special like I did last year, because that was a fun tradition. That cutting torch is super cool. Ugh, the heat from that bolt would have been insane, but it's all fun and the imagery is cool. The tack welding, or I guess it's tack welding. I'm not a welder. I know a little bit about fabrication and mechanical stuff. I'm semi-mechanically inclined. The crash test is fantastic. Because, like, what are you testing there? I mean, I guess you're testing how, like, fast the motors are going, but, like, why? Oh, he does say airbags a little slow here in a second. Yeah, I, they they look almost more like maggots than termites to me at that part. I love the customized license plate, mean one, so good. That poster of the mayor just looks evil, which I guess is the whole point because it's supposed to paint him as a bad guy, anyways. Fat boy should be done any minute now. I love the suspicion as to why Santa only shows up once a year. I wish they would have done the like horn too heavy part at first and like what had him tip over. Oh, it's a World War or not like a World War, but it's a like a veteran hat. I never noticed that before. You hate your nose. Also, why does he need a reindeer if he has such a high-powered sleigh? I mean, it comes in handy later on. Obviously, spoiler alert if you've never seen this 25-year-old movie, but hadn't really thought about that till just now. Or if I thought about it in years past, I forgot that I'd thought about it. Also, notice the tin roofing that he's used to build this sleigh. Grinch knows quality. And that little fan helping, like, with the lift off. Holding up the rock sign. I forgot Max fell out like that. Almost lost my cool there. Again, so many good one-liners. Just sitting here thinking I should have had snacks again, but I really haven't been that hungry while watching this yet. It's been too early. Yeah, go back to sleep while somebody does breaking and entering to your house. Bloop. The interaction right there with the narrator, like breaking that fourth wall or whatever. So good. And then the moths as opposed to the magnet. I think that was a great difference. I'm actually really glad that we watched 2 out of the 3 Grinch movies, because it shows you some differences, which we could even do with the other Grinch, but we won't. Next year, I think we'll do Nightmare Before Christmas. But we'll probably only do one watch along next year. The watch along episodes, they take a lot. It's cool, it's chill, but at the same time, there's some effort there that we won't do so many every year. There's definitely other videos, like movies I want to do, but it'll be a little bit. Love the creaky cabinet. The fact, like the little things that they do to pay homage to the animated video, so good. Like the nail biting and everything else that they do. Also, if the Grinch was a D&D character, his charisma would be a 20 for sure. But would it be a bard or would he be a rogue? For my D&D fans, just throwing that out there. I'm gonna go rogue, but let's not go full level 20 rogue. Let's go 17 and 3. Let's get him. Let's go. Yeah, 17 and 3, because you still want all the like fun stuff as a rogue, but you want to be able to pick your college for your bard. So 17 levels of rogue, 3 levels of bard, get you some fun stuff. And obviously I'm talking 2014 rules, not 2024 rules. I don't really use the 2024 rules much. Personal thing there. So these poppers, I never did talk about the poppers. Now would be a good time to get in there. Oh, this part's sweet though. Like talking about, the Grinch. And that, I definitely think that this part here definitely planted some sweet feelings, because he's like, ah, especially after, what's Christmas all about? Vengeance. Bad judge of character. One thing though, like the teardown of everybody's Christmas stuff, how quickly he did it. Props. Obviously, he's just throwing it all in massive bags or whatever. You know, I was thinking, talking about this, like stuff that they did, the animated versus this or whatever. The slithering part, like obviously in the cartoon they actually show him slithering, whereas this they do it under a rug, which is actually really smart because like back then the way technology was and everything in 2000, I don't think you'd really be able to do a good visual of like the Grinch slithering. So moving the rug the way they did, great idea. The cat, the Grinch's arch nemesis. Haha. This is funny. Yeah. Poor Max. Cat again. Just won't leave him alone. Taking the tree once again after melting the other one down. Let's see. We're going to pull up some more Grinch facts. So, Audrey Giesel removed nearly all the adult humor from How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Audrey Giesel didn't step aside. Once the contract was signed, she retained veto power over the film, which she mostly used on the script. All 8 versions of it. Wow, there was 8 versions of this script before it was actually like a thing. That's crazy. 8 versions. So she rejected ideas that included a stuffed cat in the hat hanging in the Grinch's cave, plenty of bathroom humor, and some adult innuendo, on which Audrey wouldn't deign to elaborate, as she told Entertainment Weekly that American Pie stuff has no place in Seuss. Huh. I agree. It's supposed to be a family movie. Like, come on. What we have in there, still, in modern Justin's eyes, too much. It's a family film. Come on. But it's still an enjoyable movie. Studio executives were worried Jim Carrey would be unrecognizable as the Grinch, and he's very unrecognizable, but you can tell by the voice that it's him. So, and I think that that's enough. Like, he's supposed to look like the Grinch. He's supposed to be the Grinch. You don't want him looking like Jim Carrey. So I think they succeeded, and I love the dragging out of the mayor into the town. Headgear and all. An artist, a makeup artist, took leave of absence from How the Grinch Stole Christmas because of Jim Carrey's behavior. So the average eventually got dropped down to about 2.5 hours of application, and another hour for removal, which Jim Carrey had to endure a staggering 92 times. By the end of the project, literally, you could have hit me in the face with a baseball bat, and I would have gone, "Good morning, how are you?" Carrey later said. "I learned patience. It was amazing. But getting there wasn't easy." Makeup artist Kazuhiro Tsuji, sorry if I messed up your name, who would go on to win Oscars for his work on Darkest Hour and Bombshell. Darkest Hour was 2017, Bombshell was 2019, told Vulture that Carrey was so unpleasant and erratic on set that his behavior started to stall production. After discussing the issues with his manager, they decided that Tsuji should take a leave of absence to prove how important he was to the project. It worked. Carrey promised to treat people better, and Tsuji returned to work. That stuff shouldn't be necessary. Like, come on, Jim. However, I hate talking negative about people, period. This would be more of just like observe more than anything. Because, again, don't want to make fun of people, don't want to belittle people, whatever. The show is about positive things. Like, I don't want to make fun of people. Just look at current events revolving Jim Carrey, and you can kind of see that, like, that makes sense that this had happened. Ron Howard donned the Grinch suit for a day. And I love how they turn it around right here, showing the true meaning of Christmas is, the family. And she used candy for rollers, whereas he used actual rollers. The pajamas look super comfortable. So the intense makeup process and all the difficulties that came with it was such a focal point of production that Ron Howard finally decided to experience it firsthand. Not only did he get decked out as the Grinch, he directed in costume for an entire day. It must have been very confusing for everyone else, he said. This is an interesting one. So Martha May, Christine Baranski, almost got away with using her own nose for the movie. She already has an upturned nose. The makeup artist considered letting her skip the prosthetic Who version. After all, her character Martha May Whovier is supposed to be Whoville's most beautiful resident, but it was a little too real. Baranski told SouthJersey.com, "I looked like a Who with a nose job, a Beverly Hills Who." Her 13-year-old daughter Lily was an extra in the film, so the early hours in the makeup trailer became a mother-daughter bonding experience. That's pretty cool, getting to spend that time together like that. You can also tell by like the way Jim Carrey moves his face that it's him, because the over exaggerated like facial expressions and stuff like that are such a huge part of Jim Carrey's character acting or whatever, that it makes sense. I wonder what the snow is made out of. Like if it's got to be like similar material as to like what they use for the Krampus movie. Which, if you haven't listened to the Krampus watch along, and did watch along with that movie, go on ahead. The video is available, or the episode is available on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. I was not able to put it on TikTok because it's too long. This one won't be able to be put on TikTok because it's too long. Because I'm not going to I don't want to do with the whole like separating the video into two pieces thing. So, and it might be easier to do it like that, but it's an extra step that I don't think is necessary. If you want to find these watch-alongs in your TikTok guy or gal, you're already here, so you've found it one way or another. So I appreciate you subscribing to more than one channel if that's what you do, or more than one media outlet, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? And of course, the heart growing in size. The visual of the heart through the coat. Very clever. Especially as you can see it growing while he does it. Okay, Enneagram joke here. Dude went from being a 5 to a 4 very quickly. I'm leaking. I do like the sunrise thing that they do right here. It's super cool looking. Almost looks like a place that would be like super fun to hunt, but what? No, I don't even know what kind of critters. Does a fant live there? Aw, he loves his dog. Love my dog. She didn't want to come down and hang out this morning, and she's actually got a Grinch bandana on. Uh, I must be starting to get hungry. My stomach just rumbled. And I care. What is the deal? I love that part. I just obviously I love this movie. I keep saying I love this, I love that, but uh, and obviously I love it because we're doing a watch along with it. I don't think I don't know. Maybe I'll torture myself and watch one that I don't like. Maybe I'll do that next year. Hulking out just to save Cindy Lou Who, which is awesome. Obviously, uh, you can't let no harm come to not even a main character, but nobody. But and how they did this part for a live action was super cool. Because like even as a kid, I was like, how are they gonna make Jim Carrey hold up the sleigh? The skiing is super cool. He spoke in rhyme. Just saying. Coming up with something special for the not so special Christmas special on Friday. So definitely checking in that. I was just doing it while we were sitting here uh, finishing up this, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Definitely hope you guys join in for that. Get out of the way, Dad. I don't think him being there really did anything, but the visual is great. Okay, so that's Officer Houlihan. Okay, which makes sense. They make him very unrecognizable too, with the prosthetic. I love this part. He's like, me? The joy. Somebody likes me. He never really did get to have that feeling, so like the later in age feelings and a lot of a lot of feelings coming through there. But he helps put everything back up, and bing, bang, boom. It's all lit up. Aww. And they were reunited recently for the 25th anniversary. Harry. Warm. Whenever I'm singing along and I mess up words, this is exactly what I envisioned in my head. Although he's doing it kind of sololy. I'm just incompetent. Chair. He's trying though. He's out there getting it done. Well, there you have it. The happy ending. The carving of the beast and the end. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Man, this was a lot of fun. And of course it's dedicated to, I don't know who, I want to say that's Ron's dad, John Spiegelhauer. Let's take a look and find that out real quick, and then we'll wrap up the episode. Gene Spiegelhauer. So that was Ron Howard's mom. She was born in 1927, and she died on September 2nd, 2000. So that had to really hit home, because I mean those first Christmases without family members are so tough. And man, those of you who are like missing somebody for the holidays or whatever, please reach out. We care. We want to be able to provide comfort as best as we can. You know, it may be just a short conversation or something, but we want to help how we can, because everybody matters. We're all people. We all have feelings, and we need to be there for each other. That's why the community that I'm trying to build here is so important. Y'all have a good one, and we will catch you Friday for the Not So Special Christmas special, where we do some fun Christmas things. Alright, catch you later. Bye.